Another great tip to help you deal with any issues to do with your mental health, any anxiety, any depression. Sometimes we're not always in the place where we can go and speak to people. It may be where you're in quite a sensitive place and you just need to have that space for yourself. You just need to have that time for yourself. And this is all part of the process as well. Having depression, having anxiety, things like that, it can be a really, really, it can be quite treacherous. It can be a tough path, and it's only when the time feels right that you can actually speak to somebody about things. However, there is something you can do when you're in your own head, when you're in your own space. And that is to start a ritual of writing, of journaling. And that is one of many great tools to help alleviate any thoughts, any feelings, any emotions, any depression, any feelings of worthlessness that might come up. You just write them down. Write them down how you feel, and have a specific book, have one book just for that. I would try and have maybe 2 or 3 different books. One book I would use for when you're having a good day and when you're feeling good, and write all the positive things down. When you're having those bad days, use a separate book, and then the energy of what you're writing down isn't going to infiltrate the other things that you've written down which are positive. So having a clear concise difference between the places that you're writing these messages down, and just allowing these thoughts to just come out, and just allow them just to come out of the hand through the pen and just write down. And there is no judgment. It's just you in that moment. It's just your essence, your soul, your feelings, your emotions. It's everything just coming out, and just let it pour out as it needs to. And you will feel a difference. You will feel lighter. You will feel clearer. The more that we build these tools up, the more that we access this toolbox that we have internally that we can use with ourselves, we actually come to understand and find that the key to all of this is you. It's the actual person that's doing it. It's not the therapist, it's not the counsellor, it's not the healer. Although you go to them to facilitate healing, to hold that space for you and to give you that time and to give you tips and ways of being able to help yourself. But it was you that made the decision to go there, to see them. It was you that made the decision in your life that you don't want to feel this way anymore. It was you that made the decision to say, this is my life, I'm going to take control. I'm going to take control of my life and go and do the things that I want to do because I've had enough of feeling like this. You're taking your power back, you're taking control, and that is self-empowerment. It takes a long time. It takes steps, and it takes small steps, but each individual step is a clear indication to the universe, to your soul, to your higher self, to your consciousness, that this is what you want to do and this is the direction you're going to take. And even if you have a day where, or maybe a couple of days where you just don't do what you want to do, don't kick yourself. Peaks and troughs are there for a reason. Sometimes you need to just have a rest day. It's just the same as like when you're going to work out, when you go to the gym, you need to have a rest day. Your mind and your energy and your spirit and your emotions, they need a rest day too, because the physical body can only take so much, and your thoughts and emotions are all energy. So if they're constantly going and constantly worrying and constantly moving, it's going to have an effect on the body. So you need to give your body time to just heal. So write things down, journal it, make notes, doodles, but there's lots of other things you can do in everyday life as well to assist your mental health. And cold showers are especially beneficial because they shock the body a little bit, and they take you out of the head and they shock you into it opens up your nervous system, which allows your emotions and things to flow. And once you connect to those emotions and feelings, then It's almost like you can just envisage or just imagine those thoughts, those feelings. You can actually speak to them and just say, you don't control me anymore. I release these thoughts of emotion and emotions into this water, and just visualize them and imagine them just going down the plug hole and moving away from your body, because that's how powerful you are. That's how powerful you are as an energetic being, because we are energetic beings. I think that's something that a lot of people forget, that although we are physical form, we are actually energy. Everything to do with us is energy. Everything around us, everything in our world is energy. And everything operates on a frequency. So that intention of just saying, of just allowing things, allowing your thoughts, allowing your feelings, allowing your emotions to let go, that is your frequency. That's a frequency of empowerment. It's a frequency of your inner strength, your inner light shining through. And the ego and the mind doesn't like that. It doesn't want you to take control. But ultimately, you're the driver. And you can take control, you can empower yourself, you can make these decisions, because at the end of the day, it's you that does all of this. And as a Reiki practitioner, as a meditation coach, as a hypnotherapist, of all these other different modalities that I use, it was at the very beginning of all that, before I even started any of these things, it was me that was dealing with these things, dealing with depression, dealing with anxiety, dealing with physical issues, and sleep deprivation and all that sort of stuff. But it was me in the end that made the stand and said, enough is enough. And you can do that too. Everybody is capable of doing it. Some people it will take a little bit more mental strength, a little bit more willpower, but we can all do it. If we really want to change, if we don't want to be identified, and that's the other thing that is kind of that's maybe a video for another day, but if we don't want to be identified as the sufferer, as the person that's dealing with all this stuff and all this weight, if we want to actually move away from that, we need to visualize as well how we want to be. But begin just by journaling, just by writing stuff down, and it really allows the thoughts, the emotions, the feelings to just flow out of the body onto the paper. When you filled a pad up, when you filled it up and it's done, and you've put all that stuff out there that is deemed maybe negative or stuff that you don't want to have around, once you're done with it, burn it. Get a burn-proof bin or whatever, put it in there, and just with the intention, just like a fire ceremony, just set light to it and just say, I allow all this negative emotion, negative feelings, the way that I was, to be released. Because I am now stronger, I'm more empowered, I'm more in my own light, and I know the path that I'm taking, and I know who I am and what I want to do and how I'm going to get there. It doesn't matter if you're not too sure how you're going to get there, but using the right words and the right terminology to yourself will empower you to get there. It will give you the mental strength and the ammunition from within to deal with it, to get there, to create the path. And that is another great tip is just writing, journaling, and write it down.